Welcome
Yeah.
for this Sunday webinar, and it's my great honor to invite today's speaker, Dr. Surya. She's a postgraduate in naturopathy, and she was a former head of department, former head at the Department of Naturopathy at the Sri Sri Ayurveda Hospital, Bangalore. And she's also very passionate about bringing awareness in the society with regards to the overall dimension of healthy living. She embeds her practice with teachings from ancient Indian traditions, and I've personally seen her help a lot of people overcome chronic lifestyle disorders through customized diet regimes. She is also a practitioner of alternate techniques such as Meru therapy, Varmology, Marma, and many others. So, Dr. Surya, over to you.
Thank you so much, Tejasvi. Welcome, everybody. So nice, pleasure to be here. And it's nice to see so many of you, probably because either you have experienced it or you are experiencing it, or you know somebody who is going through this trauma. It would be nice if you can switch on your videos so we can see everybody and interact nicely. Nice to see you, Amita. Okay, so let's talk about what exactly is PCOD. PCOD means Polycystic Ovarian Disease. Okay, so now when I say it is a disease, what happens actually? This is something only affecting the women. It's not affecting the men. Why? Because women have ovaries, men don't. And this is totally true. I know that's a bad joke. But ovaries produce a lot of hormones. Our body produces a lot of hormones. And this is it's a hormonal disorder. That's what I would say. So I would call it a disorder. I won't call it a disease because it's actually not a disease. It's a group of symptoms that come up which prevent certain functions within a female body. Okay, so how does this work? We have, as women, we are born with the female reproductive organ, which has two ovaries on the two sides, and they're connected through the fallopian tube into a bag that is a receiver that is known as the uterus. Every month, what happens is when you have the one egg from either one side, either the right side or the left side, gets released. And it goes and travels down to the uterus to see. In case there is copulation and there is a pregnancy, it happens in the fallopian tube, travels down and gets itself fixed in the uterus, where the zygote begins to multiply and the baby is delivered after 9.5 or 40 weeks. Okay. Now what happens is when a mother is pregnant with a female child, already all the eggs that are to be released by the female child in its lifetime is already formed. You understand how much of planning goes into a body that's going to come out, a baby that's going to come out. So the nourishment of the mother, very, very important. What we transmit to our babies, how we send across our genetic material, all that is taken care of by two most important factors, or shall I say three. First one is your diet, plays a major role, your lifestyle, environmental factors, and your mental makeup. What am I going to do? How am I? Am I stressed? Am I happy? All these things make an important role in the development of my baby. So now what happens is, if there is an imbalance in the hormones, the ovary is not able to release its ovum, the mature ovum, and it doesn't come down. So there is no pregnancy. So people who are going through this disorder have a problem getting a regular cycle, or there may be too many cycles within a month, maybe 2 cycles or more within a week, or it could be like you're bleeding for 6 weeks at a time. There is nothing set, there is no regularity, everything is irregular. There could be facial hair, there could be loss of hair. Think of men. They start balding, but their facial hair will grow and the hair on the chest will grow. So these are some symptoms that a woman may go through. So when does a disease PCOD become PCOS? When all these other symptoms come in, like irregular cycles, too many cysts in the ovaries, hair irregular patches of hair in different parts of the body. When 3 or more such conditions exist, then we call it a syndrome, PCOS. Okay. So most women, what happens is they ignore these symptoms. They think, okay, I'll let it go. Maybe it will become all right next month. And then check around to find out if other people are going through. If others are going through, you consider that, oh, hota hai, chalta hai, sab theek hai. And this is what happens. But no, we should not be ignoring such symptoms. We should be looking at it properly. So, what are the diseases or problems that can arise if you do not take care of it? First one is you may have irregular periods, very difficult to get pregnant, or it could be the other way around. Maybe the period is very difficult. Is something you want to say?
No. No.
Everything is okay?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, okay. All right. So, difficult periods or very heavy and very painful period that you have to take medication, that also is a problem. Then lifestyle diseases will also creep in, obesity, overweight. I'm not talking about overweight, I'm talking about more than overweight, so it is called obesity. Then hypertension, diabetes, elevated cholesterol levels leading to heart disorders and stuff like that if it is not attended to. If it is ignored, sidetracked, you say push it for later. These are some things. Now remember that the uterus is a place which is going to let the baby grow once it gets fertilized. But what happens? You're having irregular cycles. The every monthly lining that needs to shed and a new one needs to come is not happening. So the layer starts becoming thicker. Now, as it starts becoming thicker, there could be problems all the way leading to uterine cancers. Okay, so it can go up to that side. Then there could be also mental feeling of depression and anxiety. Suppose your monthly cycle is delayed by 1 or 2 days. What's happening? All kinds of bonkers, so you're not able to think straight, anxiety and stuff. Now, if you have an irregular cycle and the hair creeps in, or there is balding, or there are patches of darkened skin around your neck and in your groin and under your arms and other places, then what happens? You feel very elevated, happy, depressed, no? So all these things lead to mental things. Okay, bad skin and bad hair. All these are possible. And also because there is obesity involved, sleep apnea can also be there. What is sleep apnea? You forget. Or there are phases during your sleep cycle where you do not breathe properly. So it can be quite scary. Suddenly you stop breathing, then what happens? Right? So this is known as sleep apnea. So there are some things like this that happen. So very important to see that as women, we have regular monthly cycles if necessary. Okay. So, why do you think that this even happens to us? It'd be nice if you can give me some answers. We know that the female hormones are on the lower side. So what goes up? The male hormones.
Male hormones, yeah.
Right, male hormones go up. So if the male hormones, and we all know na, that we have both the hormones. The men also have both, the women also have both. Only one is more prominent, which makes us women, and one is prominent there, that makes them men. So if the female hormones are not functioning properly and male hormones go up, all the symptoms that a man faces is what we are also going to feel. Okay, now then there are certain hormones in our body, like the luteinizing hormone. This due to the increased production from, our whole body is controlled by multiple hormones. First one is our pituitary gland. That takes care of the luteinizing hormone. So now, because of the increased production in the anterior pituitary, this stimulates the ovulation. But it may have an abnormal effect on the ovaries if the level of the luteinizing hormones are very high. Okay. Now, in the liver, we have another hormone, which is known as the sex hormone binding globulin. Now, what happens is, this is what takes care of the excess androgen that is circulating in our system, brings it down, so that proper ovulation happens. Now, in a PCOD person, what happens is the level of this hormone is already low. It's not able to reduce the level of androgen. And around the ovaries also androgen, because androgen is already on the higher side, and this is also not able to do its job. PCOD symptoms manifest. Okay. So then there is also something known as raised levels of prolactin. Now, prolactin is a hormone that stimulates the breasts to produce milk during pregnancy. So this also starts going up. Now, because the person has insulin, high levels of insulin, what insulin does, it makes sure that your body cells get enough glucose or food. So it helps convert the sugars excesses into starch and for energy later on. Now, if the body has insulin resistance, this also triggers those changes in our body. So more of insulin is produced, and that adds on to your obesity, and that adds on to your appetite problems, and also to the hormonal issues. Okay. Another thing is heredity. There is a possibility that mom had it, or mom's sisters or somebody had it, and it has come down to you. I do not know how far this is true, because I feel during my generation, people were very healthy and fertile, had a multiple babies, had no issues getting pregnant. It's only, I think, the generation that's coming now that is facing all these, and we're facing all these infertility clinics around us. So I don't think it is genetic, but then many people say it could be genetic. So I'm just going to leave that point undebated. That is for somebody to do a research. Okay. So understood about this part, about why we are facing, what exactly is PCOD. So in the ovary, the eggs are released only one at a time. But in this case, the maturing ovary, the maturing egg is not also able to come out. It forms cysts. It looks like a little necklace all around the ovary. The ovary begins to swell. And this is how it is caught on an ultrasound scan when you do to diagnose if you really have PCOD. Okay. All right. So we understood the symptoms. There's heightened male hormones in the body. There can be acne breakouts in the face, facial hair growth. There could be pain in the pelvic area. Of course, infertility, obesity, and weight fluctuation problems, insulin resistance. There could be severe menstrual pain, heavy bleeding, or very scanty bleeding. Some can even have only 2 cycles in a year. So anywhere from 2 or none do about 8 cycles in a year, would all come under PCOD. All right. So now, what do you think are the causes for this? Let's have it interactive. Let's find out. What do you think?
Bad lifestyle, I would say.
Exactly, exactly. Bingo. What do you mean by bad lifestyle?
Getting up late in the morning, sleeping late in the night, and not having proper meals at like proper timing, like having three bigger meals rather than having six, seven smaller meals. But it is very difficult at the same time. So
Not very difficult. Anyway, let's see what hints I give if you are able to pick up something and change. Okay. First one, like I said, ma'am also said, is your diet. You need to look into your diet. We'll talk about it a little later. Second one is your environment. What I mean by your environment is how much stress you are taking. You understand, stress gives a lot of complications to everybody in multiple directions. So first thing, stress. How do we handle stress? Yoga, meditation, very key. Either you do some spiritual practices, pranayama like Sudarshan Kriya, or what are other things that you can do to take care of that. Now, also in the environment comes other factors like chemicals that we are exposed to. What are the chemicals we are exposed to? Let's say the first thing, the most important is the food I put in. If it is from a chemical base, suppose there are herbicides, pesticides, fungicides, all those things that I'm spraying and buying that kind of food, remember these are hormone disruptors. So whatever we are spraying our plants with is entering our system, and they are known hormone disruptors. So when we go for inorganic, thinking that it is cheaper on my pocket, anyway, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter for some time, but it keeps building. It keeps building and comes to such a point where it affects your health so bad. So it is better to invest in organic food because you are worth it. You are worth it. You don't have to pay the doctor or go through this torture of injecting yourself with so many medications and other things, which doesn't give you that quality of life. Okay, so invest in organic because that is investing in yourself. Okay, so environment, what I'm talking about is going organic. What about the other chemicals? Looking at the area that you live in. Suppose there are too much of fumes, pollution, and things like that, they also affect us. The cleaning agents we use in our house, the toilets, the floor, the clothes, the perfumes, the cosmetics, everything, all these things have a direct effect on us. And as women, we have more body fat. And body fat is something that absorbs these chemicals and stores it in our body for a longer period of time. And two places are very predominant. One is our breasts and the other is the pelvic area. So if these are stored over there for a longer period of time, they can lead us to some things unwanted like cancers. Okay. So environmental causes we need to look at. Petrochemicals and products that are in our daily lifestyle, whether it is nail polish, whether it is perfume, whether it is the shampoo or the toothpaste that you use, the soaps, whatever you are using, cleaning agents like Harpic. I don't want to take a brand name, but I'm just telling you, so many cleaning agents are there, whether it's the floor, tiles, bathroom, anything, vessels. Watch out. These are some things that do disrupt our hormones. And one very major contribution is plastics. Plastics have invaded our house like nobody's business. How do we keep our masala dabbas? How do we store our food items? Let's become aware. What we are doing is, when we store our food in these plastic dabbas, they say that these are paraben free, they do not emit. But even if it is the most expensive brand, let me tell you that they do degenerate, and they do leave out some chemicals and stuff which enter our system and affect our sensitive hormonal balance. So do away with plastics. Go for glass, go for metal containers, whatever it does, it's an investment, but it's a lifetime investment. Just go ahead and start periodically cleaning your kitchen, and clean your other areas of the house where it matters. Start changing. Okay, cosmetics are a big time because whenever you apply that lipstick, remember anything that enters your system enters through the mouth. So go for natural products, they are very much available. And otherwise, eat a healthy diet and you'll start glowing, so you don't need cosmetics. Okay, that is another aspect you can look into. But cosmetics make a big contribution. What about the body care products we use? The lotions, the night creams, and stuff. Whatever you apply on your skin, make sure that is something that you can put inside your mouth. If it is edible, apply. Because whatever you put apply on your skin, whether it is foundation, whether it is lotion, Johnson's baby oil, lotion, whatever, it penetrates through the skin and goes into the body. Okay, if it's something that is not desirable and is toxic, remember it will go and get stored in the liver. And as it gets stored in the liver, like I said, and liver also produces something which takes care of these androgen hormones. So level also will start coming down. Stress, of course, a faulty diet, our lifestyle, like ma'am said, sleeping whenever you want, getting up whenever you want, eating whatever you want. There is no regime. You are a free bird to do whatever you want. Then you have to understand that karma does catch up. Okay. So how do you want your karma? That. Then lack of physical exercise activity, very important. We are not made to sit on the desk and work only our fingers, not even the wrist. We're not like that. We are movers and shakers. We have to do that sweating. Our ancestors moved, they did a lot of farming, they did hunting, they were nomads, they went from place to place, dug up, took care of things. That was lifestyle. We need to move. So make sure that you are sweating every day when you do your exercise. Even if you do yoga, there are aerobic yoga that you can do at a fast pace, and the same thing that you do at a slow pace becomes meditative. But most important is you need to sweat. And if you're not sweating, you're not doing enough. You actually need to do that. So you can do yoga, you can do jogging, hit the gym, do intermittent training, interval training, whatever works for you. But just do it. And of course, unhealthy diet, all this is a big contributor. Now, how do we reverse this whole thing? Since you know the cause, reversal should be exactly the opposite. What is the first thing that we can do? Can I change my environment? Maybe not. But what I can bring into my environment, I can definitely change. I can take care of all the environmental stuff like, okay, pollution is there, means I don't bring pollution inside the house. I don't frequently bring in chemicals that I need to put over my body. I change that. I can start eating more natural foods, lots of fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds, wholesome grains. These are some things, wholesome grains and pulses. Physical exercise to be increased. And most important, detox your body from time to time to help balance the hormones. Very important. So what some other things, like natural therapies like sunbathing. Vitamin D has a direct effect. So if you think the sachet is going to do its job, yes, it will do its job of one function. But if you are sitting in the sun, either you're doing your gardening work or maybe you're doing your yoga or something, physical activity out in the sun, remember it does multiple functions. The sun has multiple effects on your body, from the manufacturing of vitamin D to taking good care of your calcium and the bones in your body, to your eyesight and your hair, and of course, most important, the hormones. They play a good role. So make sure that you don't hit rock bottom with your vitamin D. Keep it kept up. On those days when you're not able to go out, whatever is your reserve will take care. But don't keep running only on a reserve tank of vitamin D. Make sure that you pump it up. Okay. Sunbathing, very important. Water baths make a good effect on your system. Having wet packs, you can have wet packs that you can apply during your cycles to either bring down the pain, help you with the excess bleeding, help you relax and enhance your digestion and multiple other things that you can do. Okay, go on a plant-based diet. Get rid of the animal products in your diet. Why? Because animals in today's world are given a lot of antibiotics and they are not allowed to run around in a farm or a field like the way used to happen earlier. They are all put in a house where all the chickens are in the coop and they are fed grains. And the grains come from fields which are heavily sprayed with pesticides and GMOs that are fed. So what happens? All that goes. Why? Because you would prefer your chicken to be nice, plumpy and juicy. Now, if you want plumpy and juicy chicken, this is what you have to feed, because you have to fatten the chicken not in 6 and 9 months but in 1 month. So the liver of the chicken has become fatty, and that fatty liver chicken that you are going to consume, where do you think the fat is going to go? Where are the antibiotics going to go? And whatever happens, whether I pump it with hormones. Now the milk, the dairy farming has a lot of hormones injected into them, a lot of antibiotics injected into them. Why? So that they deliver more milk. See, a mother gives more milk when she gives milk when? Only when she has a baby. And we as human beings consume milk all through our lifetime. And who has to deliver that milk to us? It should come from a cow. And a cow gives milk, more milk when she is pregnant or she is lactating, correct? So a cow needs at least 2.5 years gap between one pregnancy and the other. But we are the culprits who demand that more milk. So what does the farmer do? Injects it with hormones so that it continues to lactate and give us more, continues to increase its prolactin level so that it lactates more and we get to consume that milk. Where do you think that hormone is going? Comes into our system. Now, why do you think in my generation, the women used to menstruate, menarche age was anywhere from 13 to 16. 13 was also on the lower side. I should say it was more like 14 to 16 or 17. Now I see girls as young as 8 and 9 who have started menstruating, which is almost half the age. You understand what we are doing wrong? It is our demands and our lifestyle. How can I live without my tea and coffee? How can I live without that paneer? How can I not have cheese? How can I not drink my milk? This is what we are doing. As we demand, the market supplies. And where will market bring it from? They have to break the rules of nature. They see their other farmers making more money. Greed comes in. I also want to make money. This becomes a vicious cycle. So just become aware. Throw that animal products out of your diet. Or if you have an ethical farmer who is able to supply, then go. But make sure that he is ethical. That needs to be noted. So going plant-based, going for organic food, stay away from non-GMO foods, genetically modified foods play havoc. Another thing I want to say is that the chicken that you buy in the market have no sex. So when I consume a non-vegetarian product that has no sex, neither male or female, what is it going to do to my genetic makeup? Please understand. Why the number of transgenders have increased? Think about it, what it is doing to my system. Do I need it? It's better to go for that country chicken that is running around, which is more muscular, not as juicy, not as fattening. Think about it, country eggs which are grown, which come from natural processes rather than in the farm setup. Okay. Then avoiding plastics and in making a change in the cleaning agents in your system, in your house, whether you're using enzymes, bioenzymes, or natural products. Go for it. It's very simple, and there are so many websites which give you techniques on do your own processes. You can make it with the food and the fruits and the vegetables that you eat and whatever you grow in your garden. Very easy to make them and costs you peanuts. And yet your house smells good and it is good for your body also. Now there are certain medications also which have which are hormonal and which have hormone disruptors also. So you may want to talk to your doctor regarding the medications that you may be taking. So some of them are there also. Uh, Certain other products that play with your hormones are like soya. They have certain effects on the female reproductive system. So better to stay away from certain products or not to eat them as regularly as we consume now. Increase the fiber in your system, in your body, so that you feel full longer and you are not putting on weight. Go low fat and low dairy or no dairy, become dairy free. Include regular practice of yoga and meditation in your lifestyle. So these are some things that I would like to say. Now, like I said, if I'm going to repeat this again because this is invaluable. Just look at your hand when I place my hands together. I'm going to do it this way or this way, whichever way. You see that there is a finger part and there is a palm part. So I'm going to keep my fingers like this, and this is how my plate needs to look. 1/4 of my plate needs to be raw vegetables. Another quarter of my hand, my plate needs to be cooked vegetables. So 50% of your plate is already filled with vegetables. And you see the little thumb here, you need is only this much, but this much of green leafy vegetables, very essential in a woman's life, not only for her calcium needs, also for her iron needs. So a little bit of green leafy vegetable, either in a cooked form or in a chutney form or in a garnish or in your salad, whatever works. Make sure that you add that little bit. Now the other 2/4 that you have, make 1/4 is your protein that comes from dals and lentils and sprouts and stuff like that. And the other part can be your carbs, which are your grains, your millets, quinoa, whatever you want to have. Now, for any reproduction to happen, remember that you need B12. Yes, we agree. Now, so how do I keep my B12 up? If I'm going to have a vegetarian diet, people will say, oh no, it's not going to happen. Source of B12 not there in a vegetarian diet. So what do they ask you to drink? Either milk or animal products. Remember that this is not right, because where do you think these animals get their B12 to give their liver and their milk rich with B12? Comes from a plant source, isn't it? What does a cow have? Does it drink milk to give you B12 rich food? No. What does she eat? Grass, grains, whatever. So understand, anything that germinates gives me B12. If I want to reproduce and have a baby, I also need adequate amounts of B12 in my diet. So where does B12 come from? Wholesome grains. So if I'm going to have rice, if you look at the wheat that we are getting now, there is something known as a germ. They de-seed, they remove that germ and sell that wheat to the public, known as whole wheat. That will never catch any kida, makoda, will not be there. When the germ is included in the whole wheat, you will find that the atta spoils. There are insects, because that is life-giving. If that is removed, what will happen to you? Will you get your B12? No. So what do I need to do? I need to look at wholesome food which are not depleted. The germ is not removed. So I need to buy unpolished, wholesome dals, make my own sprouts. Every day soak a different lentil. So what happens in 2 or 3 days, the first one has germinated. You can use that every day. So if you have a fistful of sprout every day, you will not need to go and get your B12 shots. And B12 shot is a chemical source anyway. Your body is intelligent. It doesn't want that fake stuff. It wants the real stuff. Why don't you support your body? If I have adequate B12 in my body, then what happens? It helps my reproductive organs to work well, right? All right. So eat wholesome foods. So make sure that your dals have the skin. Make sure that the grains that you eat are unpolished and sourced from a good organic produce, so that if your produce, if your grains, if your dals have insects, be sure that it is safe for you to eat because it's not laced with chemicals. So this is, I'm only joking, but I'm telling you, just become aware that this is something that we all need to look into. We need to eat something that is more wholesome. If you can grow your own, which is what is trending now very well, even if you have a small balcony. Today I saw somebody's balcony which is only like 2 feet by 4 feet, and it is full of orchids which are in bloom. I was like gaga over it, and I said, wow, this is amazing. And she was saying that she couldn't even see the blooms because all the blooms were looking at the sun, and people on the road would see the blooms and enjoy them. She couldn't see anything because the flowers had turned to the east, facing the sun. So if she can grow orchids, all of us can grow some kothmir, some curry leaves, some pudina, some spring onions, some wheatgrass, whatever we can in little pots in our own little balconies, even if it is a kitchen window. Make sure that you keep doing. If nothing, go ahead and start making your sprouts. Make the sprouts, enjoy them every day. It would be like a nice project if you want to share it with your children. Give them the responsibility and say, each one, you're responsible for me taking care of sprouts. They should take the dabba, measure it, and start doing that. It's also their project and they get to enjoy what they're eating. What habits you inculcate now is what they will pick up later. So you should be the example of eating these things. Even the nuts and the seeds, they are a healthier option than going in for the oils that we need for our cooking. If I include more nuts and seeds, remember they are also wholesome. They will also germinate. They will also provide the essential fatty acids that are so important for our body to hormones to work properly. So include nuts, wholesome seeds, and make them into a snack. Our traditional cooking recipes of making these instant snacks are somewhere getting lost. So catch hold of grandmas, catch hold of your aged aunts and nannies and daddies. Start asking for such recipes. Share it with all of us, especially with the team here, FitNCalm team, so they can put it in their website also. And we can all enjoy such recipes. They need to come back instead of going for packets of biscuits and kurkure and lays and all that, which is not doing our system any good. So easy to reverse, but make sure that you do it. It will come. If we are decided and make a decision that I want to do it, then you can do it. And remember, your little one is watching you. She's going to see how much mama is doing. Oh, mama also had PCOD. I also have PCOD. My daughter will also have PCOD. This is not acceptable. This is not acceptable. Now it's getting harder and harder to get pregnant. And it comes with a lot of side effects. So pushing in all those hormones and injections into your system and days together lying on bed, not doing the activities that you're used to because you have to support the ovulation and all that has a toll on your health. So I would strongly advise you, when you face such symptoms, do not put it for later. Go approach a good doctor and work for it. There's no need to do any surgery. There's no need to do anything. Make a decision and change your lifestyle, and 90% of your job is done. Keep something. I'm going to look like this, and this is what I want. When you have the goal in front of you, you work towards that goal. And it always works. Also work as a team, pick up a friend or somebody. I'm going through this. I just want to let you know. So, that person keeps you updated, motivated. When you feel down, you say, hey, hello, you're almost there. Another 2-3 days for your cycle. You can do it. They'll push you. And this is how you go. You motivate yourself. Don't go into the depression, anxiety. All that is not required. Okay. All right. I'm open for questions if we have any.
We do have questions.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have a couple of questions. So initially we had a question, is it very difficult to reduce weight if we have PCOD problem?
See, no, it's not difficult. It's not difficult at all. When you change, like I said, 3 factors. First is your mind. Mind is very important. See, a weak body can be carried by a very strong mind. You may be having the most terrible diseases, but if my mind says, I will come out of it, I'm going to work for it, that is the war won. Mil gaya. No, doesn't matter what. Somewhere the tools, the equipment, something will come to help you out. That much decision you do. The mind is very, very important. Second is your decision for lifestyle change. I am going to eat on time. I am not going to eat junk. I'm going to eat what is healthy for my body in the right combination and what I want. Eat and sleep on time. No alcohol. No, all those other things that contribute. Done. These are the only 3 factors you need to do. And it's not difficult to lose weight. Now, don't focus on losing. If I have been a chubby child from my birth, suddenly I cannot become Kareena Kapoor. Understand? My body type is like this. If I'm a body type which is nice and chubby, I will become well-rounded and healthy. I won't look skinny and all those things. Somebody has to come and say, kya ho gaya? How come you've lost so much weight? Sab kuch theek hai, and then that leads you into depression. No, it's like a pendulum. I'm that fat side, but this is where I was all my life. And this is where I will be because this is where my health is maintained in a balance. I'm never going to go to the other side. If I go, that is added stress to my body. It needs to come back to the center. The pendulum will swing and come back to the center. And how do I evaluate myself? Not by the BMI chart. Not by the height and weight that is required. So what do I need to look at? I need to look at is, am I hale and hearty? Am I sleeping well? Am I energetic? Am I creative? Can I do all the things that I want? Am I enthusiastic enough to run behind my children or grandchildren or project or whatever without feeling like, aches here and pains there, utha nahi ja raha, ye nahi kara ja. You understand all those things? My nails are growing on time and I'm, it's not delayed. The hair growth is there, nail growth is there, my skin is glowing, there are no black patches here and there, pimples and acne. This is what gives you the sign that you are vibrant in health, isn't it? And that's what you need to look at.
Next question we have is, why is that during menstruation I get pimples on my face every time? Is it something to do with PCOS?
It could be possible. Like I said, PCOS should have at least 3 symptoms to be diagnosed. It could be also that your liver is a fatty liver and there are maybe some channels which are blocked. And see, we have 9 exits in our body. And skin is one of the exits. So if there is fire in the house, I'm not going to find out where is the doorway for me to jump and go. What is the closest exit is where I'm going to get out. I'm not going to say, okay, my excretory organ through the Mula Dwara, Buddha Dwara only has to go out, although I'm sitting here on my face. You understand? It's not going to do that. It'll say, okay, this is very close. I'm going to put it out this way. But we don't want that toxin to be circulating. So what we need to do, we have to see that we are not constipated. Our digestion is proper. We are properly hydrated. so that things are moving. So if you are having acne and pimples, you might want to check if your other excretory organs are fine. You're not having fatty liver or too much of junk food, or that salt cravings in between, or sweet cravings. Check on all those things. If there is no hair growth, or the cycles are all okay, and of course your ultrasound shows that you don't have any PCOD, then it could be something else.
Should we avoid ghee as well? And also there is a question about, should we have paneer and curd?
Good question. Okay, let's talk about oils. Think about oils in those days that your grandma was there. How many fried food did you get to eat? And when would she make a fried food? You understand? When we buy oils, let's take groundnut. When you take the groundnut, how many groundnuts you have to chew to get that oil with which you can fry 1 or 2 pakoras? I don't know, maybe a lot. Got it? So you're missing out on the fiber, you're missing out on the vitamins and minerals that would come from the natural nuts. But if I have the same nuts, a handful of them, will I put on weight? Will it affect my liver? No. But when I go for that fried food, once in a while, I'm fine. But now, every day, we need to have something besides us to munch on. Chai ke saath, iske saath, uske saath. So what have we done to our oils? We have made it a pure extract. Now, oils are not good by itself, not good for our body. And if we consume it too many times, definitely not good for our body. Now, when they make products like cakes and biscuits, they have changed the consistency of an oil to become a solid. Have you ever seen sunflower oil solid? I have seen, which is what they use in the bakery to make the biscuit. When the sunflower oil is made into a solid, it does not go bad. If I keep the oil outside for a long period of time, oil will become rancid, no? Correct? Now, when I take that same seed and remove the germ off and then make the oil, what happens to the life of the oil? Extended. Will it give me any nourishment? Because the germ is removed. So then they will write on the packet, vitamin A and D and E added. When it is already there in the seed, why should they add? I need to think. Correct. What is better? If you are really craving for it, have. Rest of the time, change your diet in such a way that cravings start coming down. Eat wholesome food. Eat your nuts, eat your seed, pick it up, eat them raw. Eat them raw. They're more nourishing when they are raw. There's no need to soak, there's no need to peel, no nothing. How nature gave you, pick it up, eat. Okay. Ghee is also good, but like I said, in limited quantities. Have, because it is described in our Vedas that we do eat ghee. Ghee is essential to keep your skin youthful, takes care of many of the nourishment by carrying it from one side to the other side of the cell. Important, but in limited quantities.
Paneer and curd?
Curd, I will say no to anybody in our human kingdom, because curd is something that blocks channels. Okay. You may say, I was eating curd all my life. Yeah, you eat curd all your life, but towards the end part of your life, it will give you a problem because it blocks the channels, whatever the channels may be. Okay, it will block the channels. Better to go for charge, which is buttermilk. Buttermilk made the traditional way, which is setting the curd, removing the butter by churning it, and whatever is left, add water, dilute it, add your spices, and that is charge. That is what you should consume. There is a rule also for it. In summer, you add extra water. 1 cup buttermilk to 4 cups of water in summer. In winter, if you really feel like having, then what do? 1 cup of buttermilk, add 2 cups of water. It becomes half. 1:4, 1:2 here in winter. This is how you should consume. Not curd. Apna dahi vada out. Right. Paneer. Okay. Paneer is not something that our body can digest. It cannot digest. So you understand what it is going to do? It's going to be like that food sitting in your system. We do not have the digestive enzymes in our body to digest this. A calf has. You don't have. I don't have. So it may taste excellent, but it is garbage in, garbage out.
What should be done for a lot of hair on the body?
I just said the whole thing.
Okay. Is soya chunks is a good source of protein, right?
Yeah, but it's not advisable. Why? Because the soya manufactured today is a GMO product. It's not like the soya that was being produced ages ago. And now that we know due to COVID times, I was reading the paper and I was shocked to find out that China is the biggest importer of soya from America. So the soya that comes from America is a GMO. So what happened to the natural soya in China? I do not know. But I'm saying that soya today is a GMO product. So if you don't want to put in all that, don't. And soya and in the Far East was given to cattle to eat so that they could do the work they needed to, like a horse or whatever. It's not something that we eat. Okay. So if a human being ate, he ate very little, and that too after processing it, fermenting it for a certain period of time and making it in a certain way, then only it was digestible. It's not like, okay, I will make soya chunks, I will make soya sprouts, I will make soya nuggets, I will do soya powder. I'm sorry, it doesn't work like that. It plays havoc with your female hormones. Okay, you may have an early period. It can also, too much of protein also causes problem. Too little protein also causes problem. Protein is involved with growth. Do you want growth in the breast? Do you want growth in certain other parts of your body? Then think and eat protein with caution, especially soya.
So what should 17-year-olds do for PCOS, like hair growth and poor digestion and all? Is changing to a full plant-based diet and excluding all the dairy products a healthy option for still growing teens?
Still?
Growing teens, like because they are 17.
Okay. When do you think a human being needs the maximum amount of protein in his or her lifetime? When does maximum growth happen?
In the initial days, in the teens?
Teens.
Yes. From
Think about it.
childhood, like, when you're a baby and you grow up.
Right. When you are born. Think of the first 3 or 4 months. What's happening? Eating, hardly playing, maybe half an hour awake, and rest of the time sleeping, eating, sleeping. Do you know what is the diet of the baby?
Milk.
Breast milk, not cow's milk, breast milk. And do you know the percentage of protein in the breast milk? 2 to 3%. If 2 to 3% of breast milk can cause so much of growth in a baby, do you think we need more protein to grow at a later stage in life? Whether it is pre-teen or post-teen or during the teenage years? It's a myth. It's a myth. If your diet is right, with sufficient amount, like I said, with your fingers, keep it this way, and this is your plate. You cannot go wrong. Unless your lifestyle is different. I want to become a sports athlete. My profession is that I am working out 6 to 9 hours during the day only in a gym or doing other physical activities. Then your requirements change, so you can connect with a proper dietitian or somebody to help you with your diet. But otherwise, what you're getting from your dals, sprouts, nuts, seeds, millets, more than enough. You don't need anything extra, like in the form of cheese or paneer or soya or all those things, that you see in a gym. You do not need. It will give you enough and ample amount of protein for growth.
Skin of badam. Peeling the skin of badam is good after soaking, or we can have directly.
I do not advocate soaking. Why do you think people soaked? In foreign countries where it is cold, it may be okay. But, or people who are having difficulties with the chewing. Our country is more hot. So if I soak my nuts, they will ferment. And that's not something I want. So eat your nuts as it is. Chew it and eat it with the skin. Why do you want to remove the skin? Your painkiller comes from the skin, especially almond skin. You have a headache, pick up 5 or 6 pieces of almonds. Keep it in your mouth, chew them very slowly. You'll find your headache is gone. Because pain medication for headache comes from that skin. And what do? Peel it and throw. Now, people probably peeled and threw it because they want to make badam halwa or whatever. Okay, color. Nothing says that you should have a brown colored halwa. You can enjoy it even better. It's more nourishing.
Okay.
Right.
Is using mephtalspar for period pain advisable? Would it alter the hormones?
It's a painkiller. It won't alter your hormones, but it will have effect on your kidneys down the road. It has its own side effects. So I would advise you to change your diet and lifestyle. First thing, and your pain should go away in a couple of months.
So someone asked best foods to cure PCOD. I think you have mentioned everything, and this video would also be there on YouTube, so you can revisit and again go through all the things. Okay. Decision making and thought process is a little slow. Do you think it can be due to PCOD or thyroid?
Thyroid, yes, definitely. PCOD also. It's all kind of linked. That's why it's called a disorder. A disorder becomes a syndrome when you have multiple things. The emotions are problematic, thought processes are slow, you're not able to make a proper decision, you're going this way, that way. All these are connected. They are connected. So, like I said, vibrant health means they should all be in balance. A good possibility, change the oils and fats in your diet, and you'll find that this also changes. Don't go for refined products. Refined oils are definitely no. Okay, eat wholesome and see, then your thought process should change.
I think the last question, because we are short of time. Does PCOD lead to severe dandruff and dry scalp?
Yes, very much possible. Very much possible. Hair fall will also be there. Balding can be there. Patches of hair going from this way, that way. Loss of hair here, appearance of hair all over. That is very much possible. Yes. If you're having so much of dry skin and dandruff, make sure that you hydrate yourself properly and not exposed to extreme temperatures like sitting in an AC all the time, not drinking enough. All this robs your skin of natural oils. Change your shampoo, go for natural cleansers. And every time you want to wash your hair, oil it first. Don't keep it overnight. Oil it, keep it on for 1 or 2 hours, and then wash it off. Max 1 hour, especially in our side of the country, which is on the, the southern half. An hour is maximum, not more than that. Wash it off, and you will find that dandruff will not come. Watch your liver health also.
There's one more question, Didi. My sister is doing most of the things said from the past 5 to 6 months. She's suffering from PCOD. How much time generally will it take to become all right once you alter your lifestyle as well?
I don't know about her, but given my clients, I find that they are able to reverse within 3 months, 2 to 3 months, they have reversed. And then they have gone back to their diets without changing. And then I have seen that they have come back saying that, hello, it's come back again. So diet, lifestyle makes a very big difference. Yes, right. So it shouldn't be that long unless, of course, it has matured to a very long time. Don't know. I have not come across somebody that is suffering that long. So,
In case any of you also want an appointment with Dr. Surya, so you can contact Tejasvi or me. So we are there in the group that is there, or you can just comment on a YouTube channel as well. You can leave it out there. We respond every day to the comments also over there. So if you need to get a consultation with her, let us know. We'll arrange it for you. And Didi, there was one last question. Someone asked it twice, so I'm asking again: how to improve AMH level naturally?
EMH.
Yes, so there was someone who had asked a question earlier. Amrita had asked. I'm just trying to.
What is
She
that
had a
AMH?
AMH. Yes, she's saying after her post her surgery, my AMH level is reduced. She had a history of cyst in both of the ovaries. Is there a natural way to increase AMH?
It's the diet and see. Add wholesome, remove all these GMOs, go organic and pick it out, including more fresh fruits, especially with the skin and seeds, should bring about a change. Stress. Address stress, meditation and yoga, nothing like it. How much ever we may think I'm not stressed, somewhere we've got used. If I'm not stressed, something is wrong. We've come to that level. Make sure that it is addressed. And especially COVID times, it can be on either side, this way or that way. Maybe too much to do because servants are not coming. You have to do catch up all the time that you're neglecting yourself. Or it could be that nobody's coming home. So how do I care about cleaning my house? I can do whatever I want. Whatever side of the thing you are, make a to-do list or whatever works for you. Give yourself reminders and find out how to do. Stress, address that also, and I'm sure this will change. And if there is a thyroid problem, check if the thyroid is also working properly. If it is efficient, not within the range, if it is in the optimum position, then also hormones will start coming to normal. Okay. Yeah.
I also wanted to announce, especially for the women, we have seen a lot of women have a little different needs than the rest
Yes.
of them. So we are starting a women community. So from October, we've already started. You can find us on FitNCalm Women on Facebook. We'll leave the group over here as well. So we are going to be doing some special things for women. The month of October, we are dedicating, for menstrual health, menstrual awareness, how you can make your periods eco-friendly, and a lot of things. So, like Dr. Surya was mentioning, the recipes. All of us, we just have this plan to have women motivate each other to make those changes that are necessary in the homes, be it in cooking, be it in the way that we live, the cosmetics. So all of us can come together and, share ideas. If you have any nani ma ka recipes, and, you also share with us so that all of us can move together. We'll also be sharing yoga videos for everyday practice, yoga that you can do during periods to help you with cramps, practices for PCOD, for different types of things that you will need for yoga therapy. So it's going to be a support group for everyone, and we welcome you to join us. And I think I'll just like to conclude a little bit over here. So what Dr. Surya mentioned, main takeaways: when you eat, so your plate has to have five, components. One quarter has to be raw veggies. Another one has to be cooked veggies. Then a small portion has to be green leafy vegetables. One quarter has to be proteins, and then the rest of it can be little bit can be grains. and your B12 also from natural vegetarian sources. Stay away from plastic containers as much as possible. Do away with Harpic cleaning agents.
Don't
And
mention Harpic, they'll come and beat us. Instead, put it like, whatever chemical agents that we may
yes.
use. Right.
So what Harpic, etc. I should add probably all
No,
those kind.
remove the brand name. Don't put any toilet cleaners, whatever. Floor
Yes.
cleaners which are chemical
So
based.
natural cleaners, and if you guys are also interested in knowing how to make the enzymes, probably we can do one of the webinars. So you guys can give us ideas, what you would like to do more of, and we'll have more sessions like that. So we can also have how to make your own enzymes, things like that as well. And do not consume animal products as much as possible. Do away with soya, and have organic foods. So I think that's she talked about it a lot. So probably to get more out of it, you can revisit this session as well. And thank you so much, Dr. Surya. It's always like been a pleasure to listen to you talk. I personally get to learn so much. So I feel very good when you are coming for the sessions. Thank you
Thank
so.
you. Thank you. I'd like to add that next week I'm having this session called the Women's Wellness session. I'll send it to you. You can probably put it in the group if you need to. This is going to be a 5-day session. We will be touching different aspects of a woman, whether it is the hormonal cycles or cancers to obesity to sleep disorders, everything. Healthy woman thing that we have. It's called the online wellness program. It's from October 7th to the 11th, 5 days, and for 2.5 hours in the evening, 5 o'clock to 7:30. So I'll send you the details, and you can, if you would like to understand more about your body and get well, understand. First, understanding your body is very important, and then you start listening to the body. Then the body begins to support you. Then it's very difficult to fall sick. I'm actually telling you, you don't have to pay me. You have to only pay yourself. Yes, this is what my body is asking. This is what I want to do, and you'll find it. You can walk away from that. What shall I say? Okay, I love gulab jamun, so I can look at the gulab jamun and say, nah, I can go on. I can actually walk away. I'm saying that's what happens when you understand and listen to your body. Your body is able to say, I want, I don't want. Even if there is a craving to say, okay, I'll taste it. You may taste a piece of it and you may feel that, yes, I am complete. I don't need to finish the whole thing. Okay, so that's something we can think about. So on less wellness, I'll send it across. Go ahead and see if any of you would like to
If
join.
you would like to do the wellness program with her, or if you would like a consultation with her, you can leave your number here in the chat and we'll send you the details. If you're already on the WhatsApp group, just ping Tejasvi or me. Both of us are admins in our webinar group. So you can just send a message to any of us and we'll forward you the details as well.
And thank you so much, Dr. Surya. I also wanted to ask if anyone wants to share your feedback. You can just raise your hand. We'll unmute you. It would be really good to listen from you also. How did you like the session? Okay, Seemaji, I'm unmuting you. Can you check? Okay. Can you unmute now? We can hear you.
Ma'am, Namaskar, ma'am. Jai Gurudev. Immense pleasure and so much to learn from you. Really, we are very fortunate to have ma'am like you. Each and every word, humbled by your love and support and all your guidance and learning. So in an easy way, we just golf like a puchkas and that type. Matlab, no word. Literally, you explain in a nice way.